Hey, it's Chris, back at you with another video. Well, some good news came out last weekend. All 4 CW superhero shows were renewed for new seasons. So that's Arrow, Supergirl, Flash, and Legends of Tomorrow. Today I'm going to ask which CW superhero shows had the best first half of the season this past fall in 2016. So number 4 out of the 4 shows, I'm going to have to put Supergirl. Now, before I go into this a little bit, I'm going to establish I don't hate Supergirl. You know, a lot of people will complain about Supergirl and they'll be like, oh, this feminist propaganda, da 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 da. I think Supergirl, honestly, is a good show. It's just, for me, it's the lowest out of the 4. Part of the, issues that Supergirl had at the beginning of the season is that since Supergirl moved from CBS to CW, they lost quite a few cast members from season 1 and actually introduced a lot of new characters. So in this season, we got Superman, we got Mon-El, we got Miss Martian, we got Maggie Sawyer, we got Lena Luthor, we got a lot of new characters. And I feel like as of right now, since we've just met a lot of these people and their arcs really aren't finished, we kind of have to see where they go. This is as opposed to the other 3 shows which have a lot of returning cast members that we've seen develop from previous seasons. I personally don't mind Supergirl's political themes. I think sometimes it's a little too on the nose when they compare like sexuality to like being an alien, or they compare like aliens coming to Earth with like American immigration. I think in the current political climate, Supergirl kind of hits you over the head with some of those themes, and unfortunately, I think that turns some audience members off. Now, you still get some great flying and some great action scenes. I think Melissa Benoist is a great lead, and the cast is honestly pretty likable. So, to me, from what I can see from the online LGBT community, at least the people who like tweet about the show and talk about the show, they seem to like the storyline of Supergirl's sister coming out as a lesbian. So that's a really good thing. And like I said, I put Supergirl as number 4. I don't hate Supergirl, but there are aspects of the show that I know just aren't made for me and don't appeal to me a ton. But even though it's number 4, I don't hate it. I think introducing Superman was a good idea. I think the cast is charming, but I'm not gonna lie, watching episodes of Supergirl, I don't get as excited as I do watching the other shows. And maybe that's because it's harder for me to form a connection with some of the main characters like I can with the other shows. So for those of you who haven't heard, The Flash is my favorite CW superhero show, like, total. With this season especially, I can definitely see a few cracks forming within the show that I'll talk about briefly. First of all, I think I was disappointed with Flashpoint. The storyline of Barry going back in time and changing things to save his mother. Flashpoint itself, that universe, lasted only 1 episode before he went back to the present and dealt with repercussions. And I understand what they were doing. They were using that first episode as a catalyst for the whole season. But my kind of problem, I guess, with Flashpoint was that we really didn't get enough time to explore that universe. I wanted to see if any of the Arrow characters were a little different within the Flashpoint universe. I wanted to see more like why Joe was an alcoholic. I wanted to see more of the characters we knew as different people in the Flashpoint universe. With some of the villains like Captain Cold or, Heatwave, would they have been different because of Flashpoint? And we didn't really get that. And with that, I was disappointed. There were also, some other things I didn't necessarily like Cisco being grumpy for a lot of the season. I mean, I think I speak for everyone when I say Cisco's at his best when he's a happy comic relief character and when he's doing cool vibe things. The fact that he was so mopey and so angry at Barry for a lot of episodes, I think, was kind of a downer. I'd also like to mention that I'm kind of mixed on Julian's character right now. I mean, him being alchemy was predictable, but since they revealed it so early, I hope that means that they'll do some more interesting things with him in the back half. Because, I mean, you got a Harry Potter actor on there. You got to do some cool stuff with him. Because I don't necessarily think he's going to be on The Flash for more than this season. While it was cool to see Caitlin kind of turn into Killer Frost and how that slowly happened, I thought the resolution was a little quick, after she injured some people and did some bad things and pretty much like dished out Barry. Everyone's just like, alright, Caitlin, we're friends with you again. It's kind of like, I feel like some of the characters should kind of be more like shiftier with her, and I kind of want more of an explanation of why her powers kind of make her like go evil. Like, how do superpowers make a normally nice, pleasant person evil? Like, there should be a more of an explanation for that. Lastly, I think that Savitar is a villain. Well, I do like his look, how he looks like Megatron, and they're really going for him to look more like a monster and less like a human compared to the previous villains like Zoom and Eobard. I think some part of the problem is that I don't really like fear Savitar yet. Like, he hasn't really done anything to me that's made me go like, oh crap, this guy is serious. I mean, we have a future vision of him killing Iris, Barry's current girlfriend, but I almost feel like by seeing that vision, we almost know that Iris's death isn't going to happen. Now, there were some positive things about Season 3 that I liked. I liked Mirror Master, I liked Jesse Quick, I liked the new version of Wells HR, I like Joe actually being in a relationship, I like Wally finally coming to his own as Kid Flash, and like I said, this is number 3 on a list of 4. I don't hate The Flash or by any means, it's still my favorite show, but I think this fall, the other 2 shows that I'm going to mention outpaced it in a few different areas, and I hope that the writers can kind of do some tweaks and fix some things around so that this season can be just as enjoyable as the past 2 for me. So yeah, Flash is number 3 as far as who won the fall. Number 2 is going to be Legends of Tomorrow. So, Legends, you know, was kind of a weird show. I feel like Season 1, some people liked it, but there are a lot of people that weren't interested. I think going from Season 1 to Season 2, Legends has done quite a few things to improve the quality of the show. First of all, they got rid of Hawkman and Hawkgirl. I don't think a lot of people appreciated the Hawk story from last season. They got rid of Vandal Savage, and now the villains of the show are an evil team consisting of the Reverse Flash, Malcolm Merlin, Damien Dark, and at some point Captain Cold. And the reason why I like this is because instead of the heroes just dealing with one villain pretty much the entire season, just one dude they can't kill, now the heroes have to deal with multiple villains. And with, especially with the Reverse Flash, the Legends team pretty much has no idea how to fight this guy because none of them have speed. I think making the team a little smaller compared to last season gives them more of a time to shine. I enjoy the new additions of Vixen and Citizen Steel. I think Citizen Steel, while he can be a bit of a Ray clone, I like that he can be the historian and be an information guy. I like Vixen as a representation of a black female superhero. She also gets to be kind of the straight man on the show because the Legends tend to be goofy and they tend to screw things up. And Vixen kind of being, you know, the regular person there reacting to stuff, I think is really good. On top of that, in this season of Legends, the Legends, they're going to different eras every episode. Every episode they're going to a different era. They've been the 80s, they went to the Civil War times, they went to the Roaring 20s. They've done a lot. And it's only been half a season. If anyone remembers the last season of Legends, you'd remember that the Legends would spend at least 2 episodes almost in every era. I'm really glad the Legends stepped up this season by giving us more eras in time, as well as giving us more fun villains. The heroes also get more screen time to shine. Mick Rory, Heatwave especially, has some really good one-liners, and he's a lot funnier than he was last season. And I think part of that is because Captain Cold's gone. And while I really enjoy Captain Cold, now that Heatwave's kind of alone, he gets to kind of be like the lone thug on the team, and his interactions with Vixen especially are just really entertaining. Now, Legends isn't perfect. There's been a lot of what I will call probably filler episodes where Legends, they go on a side adventure that has little to do with the main plot. Even though those episodes are entertaining, the main plot of the season has been slow, which is why Legends isn't number 1. However, I've enjoyed this season of Legends. I think they've really kind of found where the show needs to be after season 1, and I get really excited for it every week. So yeah, Legends is number 2 on my list. Alright, and number 1 is going to be, who could guess it, Arrow. If anybody knows anything about the Arrow fandom and season 1, they will know that people hated Arrow season 4 with a fiery passion. from the killing of Laurel, from the over-dramatization of Felicity, Felicity's mom, the fact that magic was introduced and Oliver beats the villain in a BS way. Season 4 had plenty of problems, and many people were going into Season 5 like, is this show still going to be good? But I can say after the first 9 episodes of Season 5, I think Arrow's back. I really enjoyed Arrow Season 5 so far. I like the introduction of the new recruits. While they're not perfect, adding some new actors to the show with Ragman, Wild Dog, and Artemis add a bit of a different dynamic to the show that we haven't seen before. They've cut down on the Oliver and Felicity drama from last season. In one part of the season, Felicity reveals to Oliver that she has a new boyfriend, and you know what Oliver does? He acts like an adult. He says, hey Felicity, good for you, I'm happy for you. And then that's it. And it's not a thing that they dwell on for the whole episode, because when Arrow gets too soap opera-y, that's when I think it has problems. When they act mature and they act like adults, like, it's fine. Arrow's had some cool stunts and tricks that they've tried to do. They've had some cool guest stars like WWE star Cody Rhodes, as well as the Human Target. Prometheus is an actual intimidating villain. You really get the sense that this new vigilante in town really wants to destroy Oliver's life. And I actually won't spoil it in this video, but in episode 9, the mid-season finale, the way Prometheus tricks Oliver into doing something terrible is magnificent. The entire scene is amazing from beginning to end, from Oliver first encountering Prometheus, to the fight that they have, jumping off a roof, to that crazy finale. There's also a lot less of certain characters that I think showed up too much in past seasons. We've got a lot less Malcolm Merlin because he's doing stuff on a different show. Quentin is dealing with this alcoholism thing, which is not the best Quentin storyline, but it's a lot better than the one he had with Donna Smoke last season. Thea deciding if she wants to be a vigilante or if she wants to be a normal person. The 100th episode that was a part of the crossover is really satisfying for Arrow. It was nice seeing a lot of old characters come back, even though they couldn't get Man of Bend and Deathstroke. And it even provided some commentary, I think, on a way a lot of original Arrow fans kind of feel that, now that all these other superhero shows exist, the Arrow characters, they kind of feel a little less relevant. Like, hey, what's the point of us when you got the Flash and Supergirl flying around? So I'm glad that they at least acknowledge that a lot in their world really has changed as more shows have been added to their universe. And I thought it was really cool how they did that. Also, a certain character that people were really upset for being killed off is brought back. And we don't know in what form, but at least that actress gets to work, and at least the writers are acknowledging, yeah, okay, we kind of screwed up by killing off the Black Canary, and we're trying to fix it. So that is why Arrow Season 5 gets number 1 on my list, because Arrow Season 4 was terrible, and they've made some really good improvements so far compared to the other shows. There were so many moments in Arrow Season 5 so far that I really enjoyed, and I really think that by going back to stunts and hand-to-hand combat and fighting and really having some good villain-driven stories and some good character-driven stories and leaving a lot of the drama from last season behind, Arrow is really picking itself up, and that's why Arrow Season 5 gets number 1 on my list. My favorite CW show is still The Flash overall. I just think Arrow did such a good job as improving from last season, I had to put it at number 1. But, just for a disclaimer, I enjoy all 4 shows to an extent. So yeah, that's my opinion on the CW superhero shows and who I think won the fall. If you like this video, hit the like button and subscribe, and also don't forget to leave a comment below. And until next time, I will see you all later. Peace.